You're 16, on a wooden stool in the kitchen, a bath towel taped around your neck, while your friend runs a Wahl Color Pro from Walmart up the back of your head to save you $20 at great clips. 25 years later, somebody else's chain of 314 shops sells to Regis Corporation for $22 million. Between those two moments sits a $7 billion industry, 76,000 barbers, and 1,000 state-mandated hours of supervised practice you have to log before anyone pays you to touch a stranger's hair. Most of the people who pick up a clipper never make it past the kitchen stool. This is every level of a barber in America, and what it actually costs to climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The Kitchen Stool Buzz Cut. You're 16, and the math is simple. A kid's cut at Sport Clips is $20, and that's lunch money for a week. So you pull the Wahl Color Pro 21-piece kit out of its plastic clamshell, the one your mom got at Walmart for $35.99, and you read the back of the box on the bathroom counter. YouTube is open on the toothbrush holder, propped against a glass. Some kid you've never heard of fades the back of his own head with a hand mirror, and you press play. You snap a number 4 guard onto the clipper, and you cape your little brother with a beach towel. The vibration runs up your wrist the second you click it on. You pass against the grain on the sides, the plastic guard scratching scalp, and you drop to a 2 at the temples. The cowlick at the crown spins the wrong way. You panic. You call your mom in from the laundry room and ask her to even it out. She does, mostly. Hair down the t-shirt collar, hair on the kitchen tile, hair stuck to the lip of the dustpan. You hand your brother the mirror at 3 angles and he says it's fine. The 5 p.m. news is on in the next room. You barely hear it. Then it's quiet again. You stop being scared of the clipper. $20 you didn't spend at Sport Clips, bought a week of cafeteria lunches, and your brother's hair grew back inside a month, which is the first lesson of the trade. The cowlick teaches you what a guard can and can't do. Ready for someone who isn't your brother? Level 2. Sweeping the shop floor. You're 17 and you make $10 an hour plus whatever the master barber tips you out at the end of the night, mostly cash. You open the shop, you flip the switch on the William Marvy pole, and the red, white, and blue starts turning over the sidewalk. You fill the Barbicide jars, 2 ounces of concentrate to 32 ounces of water, the blue tint clouding up under the fluorescence, and you set out each barber's station, 2 clippers per chair, a neck duster, a folded cape with the Velcro snap facing up, the Clubman Pinot Talc, 9 ounces, $5.99 a can, restocked. You sweep between every chair turn. You sweep again. You hand the master a hot towel without being asked, and the second time you do it on the same day he says your name for the first time. That's the paycheck, inside the paycheck. Jose Domingo started this way in his father's shop in Argentina at 15, then swept floors for Tony Puglisi at the Foggy Bottom shop in Washington starting in 1988. He was still there 31 years later, per desist. You stop saving the pay stubs, you're listening. The master charges a man in a wool coat $35 for a fade and a beard line. The man tips 10 on Cash App. You watch the trimmer find the corner of the jaw. Talc cloud, cape snap, mirror reveal. The master nods at you at close and hands you a clipper, blade side down. He says, do the lineup on the next walk-in. You cape the kid. You sweat through your shirt. You don't ruin it. Ready for the state board? Level 3. Barber School and the State Board. You're 19, and tuition is $4,500 at Tribeca Barber and Beauty School in New York for the Master Barber Program. You sign a Title IV form. The school is accredited by the National Accrediting Commission of Career Arts and Sciences, founded in 1969, which is the only acronym that matters because without it, you can't borrow against the program. You clock hours. California requires 1,000 under SB 803, Texas 1,000, Pennsylvania 1,250, Florida 900 under HB 1193. Yours is one of those. The hours are a wall you climb in 50-minute classroom blocks. You drill scissor over comb on a synthetic mannequin head clamped to a desk. The smell of plastic hair somewhere between a doll and a hot iron. The free Barbicide certification, online since 2012, you knock out in an afternoon. The clinic floor is the cheap part. Walk-ins pay $8 for a haircut they'd pay $20 for outside, and they let you take twice as long. You learn that an old man with thin hair on top will tip you cash if you don't make it a thing. You also bomb a fade in week 11. The blend stops dead at the parietal ridge. A hard line of dark hair sitting on top of the skin like a shelf, and the instructor walks over, takes the clipper, opens the lever a half step, and erases it in 3 passes. He says, "Lever's your friend, kid." You don't say anything, you go home and run the same move on the mannequin until midnight. You stop counting the hours. State practical day. PSI Proctor. A clipboard, a stopwatch, live model and a chair you didn't bring. Cape, comb, 2 clippers, trimmer, talc. The same 15-minute open shop checklist you did at 17. Except now the floor is a hotel ballroom in Albany. You set a number 2 guard. You run the sides. You freehand the parietal. The lever moves when it has to. You finish under time, and the proctor doesn't speak, which is the best sign there is. 6 weeks later, the license card arrives in a window envelope with your name spelled right. Vic Blends, Victor Fontanez, finished Fayetteville Technical Community College's Barber program a few years before you did this. Sophie Pak came up through cosmetology school in Santa Ana and was named 2017 Female Barber of the Year at BarberCon. The card in your hand says you can rent a chair tomorrow. Ready to make rent off it? Level 4. The Chair Renter. You're 23, and you pay the shop owner $150 a week for a chair under a fluorescent and a mirror with a chip in the corner. You take home maybe $40,000 a year, mostly cash, mostly tips. Your kit costs more than your first car. A Wahl 5-star Magic Clip Cordless at $129.99 for the body of every fade. A Babyliss Pro Gold FX trimmer at $154.99 that use zero gap with a tiny Phillips screwdriver at home, an Andis T Outliner GTX at $74.95 for lineups, and an Oster Classic 76 corded at $189.95 for the old heads who only trust a hum that loud. You book on the Squire app. You post before and afters on Instagram. The customer pays $45. You hand the shop owner $150 a week. A regular comes in every 2 weeks, a tradesman in a high-vis, and he sits down and says low fade, half-inch on top, the same sentence every time. You cape him, you set a 1 at the temple, you freehand the blend, you trimmer the lineup at the hairline, you scissor overcomb the top, hot towel, straight razor on the neck, talc dust on the brush. Cash App tip lands before he stands up. The mirror reveal he barely looks at, he already trusts you. Your 4th no-show in a week eats 2 slots. You stop parking around the corner. You start booking deposits on Squire. The next week you eat 0 no-shows. That's the lesson, and it's the only one. Sophie Pak started at a shop in Santa Ana in 2011 and was Babyliss Pro's global educator inside 6 years. You're not her yet. You're a chair, a mirror, 100 regulars who rebook every 3 weeks. 1,700 cuts a year, a full book, and a key to the back door so you can close up Sundays. Ready to sign a lease? Level 5. The Master Barber and the Shop Owner. You're 32 and you sign a 5-year commercial lease for a storefront with a glass door and a sidewalk wide enough for the William Marvy pole you mount yourself. The shop clears $400,000 a year on the high end. Your take-home is somewhere north of $90,000. You buy 4 Takara Belmont chairs, $3,000 to $8,000 each. The pneumatic hiss the same one you grew up on. You upgrade to the Andis Master Cordless at $199.99 and a Babyliss Pro LO Pro FX at $179.99. You test drive a pair of Hattori Hanzo shears and you keep them. You hire 4 barbers and you set the booth rent, $200 a week, blade oil on you. You pick Square for the register because everyone already has the app. You launch a Shopify storefront for a pomade with your logo on it, $14.99 for 4 ounces, Suavecito adjacent. The 5 a.m. alarm doesn't wake you anymore. You wake before it, and the keys to the front door are in your pocket. Mark Bustos started cutting at 16 in a New Jersey garage and ended up at 3 Square Studio in Chelsea, charging between $150 and $800 a session for fashion designers, per CNN Money in 2014, while running Sunday haircuts for the homeless. Rob Farrell, Rob the Original, opened his San Antonio shop in 2006 and charges around $400 for a portrait fade per Texas Monthly. You're not them either, but a guy with 300,000 followers messages you on a Tuesday asking if he can sit in your chair Thursday, and you say yes, and the photo of his fade gets 60,000 likes by Saturday. The book fills. You raise the cut from 35 to 45. Nobody leaves. The Belmont hisses at 7 p.m. close, alcohol and aftershave hanging in the room, and the 4 chairs are full and the broom is somebody else's job. Ready to sign over the brand? Level 6. The multi-unit operator and the strategic exit. You're 41, and the second shop opened on the back of the first one's cash flow. The third one opens on the back of the second. You sign a Sport Clips development agreement, a $30,000 initial fee per unit, $289,000 to $475,000 all in per store per the 2024 FDD, 6% royalty on gross sales every week, 5% into the National Ad Fund. Gordon Logan opened the first Sport Clips prototype in Austin in June 1993, after an engineering degree and a business school degree and a stint flying military transport for the Air Force. He started franchising in November 1995, and the chain now runs around 1,900 units, with mature store average unit volume at $419,485 per the latest FDD. Joe Grondin founded Roosters Men's Grooming Center in Lapeer, Michigan in 1999 after 30 years on the chair, and sold a controlling interest to Regis Corporation on July 1, 2011. You build to 12 units across 3 states. The Corp Dev associate from a public company strategic flies into your regional office on a Tuesday with a binder. He says, "We're looking at 3-point-something times your trailing earnings." You don't answer in the room. On December 19, 2024, Regis Corporation acquired the Alline Salon Group, 314 salons across Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, for $22 million, $19 million cash, $3 million in Regis stock, and up to $3 million in earnout, on $83 million of trailing revenue and $5.8 million of trailing earnings per the SEC 8K. The deal multiple was 3.79 times. Yours comes in close. The keys to the original shop are on a hook by the back door. They're still yours. The peak of this trade is not a Barber. The buyer in the Alline deal paid 3.79 times trailing earnings, a heavy discount versus the 2.12 times seller's discretionary earnings that a one-chair independent draws on BizBuySell, because what gets bought at the top of the ladder isn't the cut. It's the operating system. The cutter, who scaled to 12 units, stopped being the cutter somewhere around Unit 4, and the Corp Dev associate flew in to buy the chairs and the leases and the royalty stream, not the wrist that ran the clipper at 23. The license that gates the trade got easier. California cut its hours from 1,500 to 1,000 under SB 803 in 2022. Florida cut from 1,200 to 900 under HB 1193 in 2021. At the exact moment, the Instagram algorithm replaced the storefront sign. The trade is easier to enter and harder to stand out in than it has ever been. And the wage the Bureau of Labor Statistics prints, $19.99 an hour, $41,570 a year, misses 76% of working barbers who are self-employed and run their books on cash. You missed a Saturday wedding once because a regular needed a cut before a funeral, and you'd make the same trade again because the man who sat down was the man who taught you the lever in week 11. The Wahl Color Pro kit from the kitchen, the one your mom paid $35.99 for at Walmart, sits in a glass case behind your desk now. Same plastic guards, same red box. The pole outside Unit 1 still turns it open, and a 17-year-old you've never met flipped the switch this morning. He's making $10 an hour. He's listening. The keys are on the hook by the door, and they're yours.